Hello, in today's video, we will see how vendor's item catalog can be managed better within Dynamics 365 Business Central. My name is Murali Avanamuthu. I'm one of the co-founder director of Cetas. So NB Procure is an add-on solution built to extend the procure-to-pay process within BC. It automates various functionalities within your procure-to-pay cycle, right from purchase requisition to vendor onboarding, all the way to giving self-service view on payments, invoices, and so on. So why you would need an add-on like NB Procure? The first, as we discussed, is the procure-to-pay automation. We talked about purchase requisition, ability to compare codes, releasing PO, and so on. And we have Azure Document AI for automating the invoice capturing from the vendors. And it helps you in controlling various procurement costs with functionalities like reverse auction and so on. And it is all built within Business Central. So BC interface you're all familiar with, and the vendors get a portal which is hosted on Azure, which is an optional component. So we want to distinguish the capabilities of NB Procure, one within BC, another the self-service functionalities available for the vendors. So within BC, we have functionalities like vendor registration approval, purchase requisition, ability to float multiple requests for quotes, an option to compare various quotations from vendors, releasing a purchase order against these codes, and being able to match invoices and being able to evaluate vendors. We have additional functionalities such as budget control, functionalities for sourcing companies, schemes and rebates, and consignment order functionalities. The self-service capabilities within portal are vendor can register themselves, can view and prepare a quotation against the request for quote received from the company, can prepare an advance shipment notice, ASN, can view the PO and acknowledge it, and can capture the invoice, and can get notified upon payment from the company. The optional component of invoice automation using Azure Document AI is available. The vendors can generate their own statement of accounts, participate in reverse auction, and get notified upon various transactions like PO or getting RFQs or getting payments and so on. They can also update their item catalogs, which is the main point of this particular video. So we call this as item registration feature, which is nothing but the item catalog sharing by the vendors with retailers or distributors or manufacturers. So the buying company now has an option to enable the vendors to automatically upload their catalogs, and they can view them within the BC native interface, and they can also get pricing updates from the vendors, and they can, of course, subject to proper approval, and the pricing updates can be recorded within BC. So let's look at what is the process flow involved. So the vendors will update the data in the portal, and the buyers can review the various data like the description of the item, the cost, the unit of measure, and so on. And they can decide whether to accept the item or reject the item. If they're going to accept, they can either choose a template, which will then populate the necessary fields like item category, posting groups, and so on, which will then go ahead and create the item. If the item gets rejected, then it is notified to the vendor. Also, this entry will be deleted from the item registration page. Now let's look at how this functionality works in the portal as well as in the Business Center. We are within the portal now, and we will go to the item registration page. And the vendor can upload their catalog. By the way, they can upload using an Excel template also. They can use download template functionality to download that Excel, populate the required items, and then simply upload. Right now, I'm showing a manual entry of a new item. They can use this to update the price of an existing item as well. Now let's switch to Business Central. And I'm going into item registration page. So this is how the buyer would see all the new items which have come from the supplier, or for an existing item, certain change in the pricing. So they can go ahead and click edit list. And if they're going to accept this item, they can view that item details and either choose the item template, which will then populate the fields like item category, the various posting groups and all, or the buyer will have to choose all the necessary fields like the posting group. Then they can go ahead and say accept and create item, or of course if they don't want to, then they can click reject item also. Now this accept and create item action will go ahead and either create the new item or update the price of an existing item. Now let's take a look at how this price update has happened for one sample item. So as you can see, the system will go ahead and create a new price every time an update comes from the vendor. So this is a quick demo of the item registration functionality available within NB Procure. So as you can see, it simplifies the capturing of the item catalog from vendors or pricing updates from vendors. And because it is integrated, it streamlines the overall data sharing between the vendor and the company. So apart from NB Procure, of course, Cetas has various add-ons like NB Projects, NB Assets, and so on. We encourage you to look upon AppSource to look at our various add-ons. About Cetas, we are in business for 15 years, completely focused on Microsoft Dynamics. We are a 160 plus team member, and we have 12 plus add-ons listed on AppSource, and we service 300 plus customers globally. Thank you for your time. And if you want to try the NB Procure app, you can visit the AppSource. You can view our video on our YouTube channel, and you can get help from our website, or you can, for further information, you can write to us at sales@cetastech.com. Thank you.